welcome. So, I today am going to be talking a lot about me as a reflector, and so today is what is the date today? We are the 28th, so we're Tuesday the 28th. So, looking at my gates, so as a reflector, we are lunar beings, so it's very important for us to follow the moon, to just have that awareness about the moon and what she's doing, where she's tracking, what signs she's going through within the zodiac season. And then, of course, when you come into like the human design type of stuff, this is where we're going to now talk more about the gates and how the moon transits through the gates. So, with gates, they add flavor to the day or to that time. For reflectors, we are undefined. We've got open centers. So we don't really have any definition to really anchor us in as a certain person type energy. So we as reflectors are a aura that tends to go out and samples, and then we kind of reflect that back to the collective, to the people who we are surrounding ourselves with. Environment is very important for us. Um, and what I mean by that is more like in energetic terms. So, a lot of reflectors will probably agree that when they walk into a space, a room, an environment, that energy just hits them straight away, and they'll be able to know if that environment is for them or not. And sometimes it can just be that it's just too hectic, it's just too crazy. We can't find the safety in there. A lot of things, and again, it comes down to our profile. So I'm a 5'2", which is all about like leading, but then also retreating as well. So that's a very it's a difficult combination to balance. Because we are open and we don't have any defined centers, we feel a lot of energy. So we can be conditioned very easily from the moment that we are born. Um, and what I mean by that is because we have nothing that anchors us down into truth, into our beliefs, we tend to absorb and take on a lot of the external energies. So, if you're living with someone who is very uptight, they're very, we take that on. And if you don't have that awareness of external energies versus your own energy, you will become extremely conditioned to those external energies. So it's all about, as a reflector, learning how to know what energy is yours. So deciphering the different types of energy is it can be very challenging. It's being a reflector. It's very challenging because it's hard to decipher what's yours and what isn't. So for me today, it's all about gate 54 and 61. So the moon is transiting through gate 54, which is all about. I've got some notes, and I've got some notes on my computer as well. But this is all about transitioning. The moon, sorry, is transiting through gate 54, which is all about ambition. 61, gate 61 is all about the mystery. So I like to look at that as a whole. Like, what does that energy together represent for that day? Now we look at where the moon is. So the moon is currently a waxing crescent. So we are, I think, maybe tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Well, the next day will be in our first quarter. So the moon is growing from new moon into full moon. And the moon is currently in Capricorn, and tomorrow it'll be transiting into Aquarius. So Capricorn is all about being patient. It's deep, it's practical. So today's energy for me is about anchoring in to my intuitive knowing. So this is about, I'm just going to bring my book up here so I can read and read my notes and talk at the same time instead of looking over here. So this is my intuitive knowing into practical form without losing the magic. Okay, so again, that keyword is magic. So it's all about joy for a reflector. It's about that surprise, the delight, the joy. So definitely, you don't want to lose yourself or lose your magic. So today, it's a day to honor the mystery and trust divine timing and let my next move find me through reflection. And again, this is like finding it through reflection, not force. So instead of like sitting here and trying to find it, because I trust you me, I'm ready to fucking try and rip everything apart and work out what's not working. Why is everything so slow? Like I'm like ready to unpack that. But this reminds us with the gates in the moon transiting through 54 ambition and 61, the mystery, it's all about like letting my next move find me and not to force it. And this is such a hard thing when you look at it in the way of how the world is and how we're conditioned to go, 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 go. You reflectors are very easy at comparing ourselves to others. Like you'll see someone on social media and you're like, yeah, but look at them. They're posting every single day. They're posting 3 times a day. And look, because they're posting 3 times a day and every fucking day, they're getting all this engagement. They're getting all this following. They have strategy. They have what am I trying to think? You know, they've literally they've got everything sorted, and it's just like we can easily to compare ourselves, and that person just might be designed to do that. They're designed to go, 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 and keep going. We as reflectors are not. So this is about not getting swept up in the collective Capricorn push. Okay, so this is, and what I mean by that is Capricorn's energy is to do more. So we don't want to get swept up in that collective energy of pushing to do more. It's about observing. Okay, so I'm in this place of observation. I'm observing the ambition without over identifying with it. And that's such a huge thing as a reflector, is how much we can over identify with something, but it's not ours. So a lot of questions that I today, with today's energy that I'm asking myself is, what systems and structures feel nourishing to me and not depleting? It's, where is my ambition coming from? Is it a fear of not being enough, or a desire to embody my highest potential? So again, that just feeling the pressure of everything. What truth is whispering through the silence when I stop trying to understand? This is a big one for me. I try to figure things out. I want to get to the bottom. I want to unpack fucking everything and work out why shit isn't working, or why it works the same, or why it works that a certain way and not the other. Once I learned just to let that go, a lot of the answers tend to come through. And for me, my biggest downloads is in the shower or when I'm driving, because I'm not forcing myself. I don't have that pressure. I don't pressure myself to try and find answers or work things out. I'm literally sitting in contemplation. I'm sitting in silence, and that is when the whispers come through. So I'm really loving my deep dive into my personal journey with the moon and it transiting through the zodiacs, the phases, the gates. Like when I look at today's energy, I can really feel the pressure to do more and to just show up and to really strive and try and prove myself, but I am coming to the end of my bleed. I am in my inner winter. And again, that's all about rest. That's all about just slowing down and being inward. Um, I like the things like systems and structures that feel nourishing to me are definitely the ones that I've created for me. A lot of the me time, my cave, this here is my sanctuary. This is where I come when I'm feeling overwhelmed. This is where I reset my energy. This is where I start my day. This is where I end my day. My environment, my cave is so fucking precious to me and it's so important to me. And these are the structures and the systems that I've created for myself as a reflector. Um, the pressure or the ambition I feel is coming from the fear of definitely not being enough. I feel like I'm needing to prove myself so much. I am comparing myself a lot to others in the way that they show up. But again, the way they show up is the way that they're designed. It's not the way that I am designed. And I catch myself so much, and I'm just so in awe with the awareness that I now have for myself as a reflector. I still get caught up. I still will see myself posting and post, and so active on social media, and I get caught up with doom scrolling and all that sort of stuff. And as go around my inner cycle, it's always when I come into that rest, that inward motion, when I'm on my bleed, when I'm in my inner winter, that I go back and I reflect and I'm like, wow, I was so out of alignment and I was push. And oh my God, no, I've only reached like 500 views and la di la di la. And like to the point, I've actually gone in and I've untoggled the view count that you can see on your Instagram, like on your reels and all that sort of stuff, because that was so triggering to me. I was just like, oh my God, that post has only gotten so many views and da 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 da. But again, I was just, the way that I was posting, the way that I was creating content, I was just so out of alignment, and it was just that push, the more, the do. And that is definitely feeding my ego, because then my ego is like, yeah, bitch, you're fucking getting shit done. But it's not how I'm designed. I'm designed to show up and come back, and it's okay to rest. It's okay to not to be active on social media. But like I said, every inner cycle, as it comes into that downtime, the rest, that luteal phase to the bleed, that is where it always comes back to me about slowing down, and then I reflect back on where I've been out of alignment. Um, what else? Yeah, and again, I just a desire to get swept away with the collective energy, to give up because I can't show up like everyone else. I feel left behind, which takes me back again. Here's this little connection of conditioning, of the old traumas of the old childhood, the little Kiri. But it definitely takes me back to when I was little and I was left out, to come and see my sisters and cousins, and they've all run away and they're all hiding from me. Like, it's like that is where my fear of missing out has come from. That is why I'm constantly feeling like I need to please people, because of how I was, how little Carrie was conditioned, how I just, I always look back and I'm like, man, I wish I just stood up on my own 2 feet. But technically, I don't have my own 2 feet, you know. But yeah, the whispers is definitely the whispers that keep coming through in that silence is just to slow down and stop trying to prove my worth. Stop trying to prove that I am qualified to talk about shit. Like I have been following the moon for 15 plus years. And I still don't feel like I'm qualified to talk about the moon and her phases and what it means and how I feel through these changes and the energy and how it affects me. I still to this day will look back and be like, you're fucking crazy, Kerry. Like, you just think you know everything. A lot of the ego coming through, a lot of that. And yeah, it's just amazing that when you start to go back and reflect on this, how much it shows up. But this isn't for everyone either. So if it lands, you'll feel it. I always do like to say, take what resonates and leave the rest. So again, I'm just going to go through a few notes. So today the moon is in Capricorn, transiting my gate 54, which is ambition, and 61, which is mystery. For so long, ambition meant proving myself. Now I see it differently. I'm shifting the ambition more into devotion, like devotion to truth, devotion to my truth, devotion to alignment, devotion to my alignment, and becoming who I'm meant to be. And the thing is brackets, like bracket, I will never know who I am, because I am no one, but I'm everyone. This is the thing. This is the thing with reflectors. I realize I'm not here to pump people up. Okay, like I know that I can have an energy of being like, woo, that's definitely my Leo coming through. I'm a rising. My rising sign is a Leo. I'm a Libra sun and a Sagittarius moon. But I'm here to wake them up. I don't need volume. It's just more about vibration. I am a mirror for collective confusion, turning it into clarity. And this used to get me a lot, because I'm like, how can I create clarity in a collective when I have so much confusion around me, and how to differentiate and decipher the different energies. But this is the journey of being a reflector. There's days where I'm like, oh, and I feel all this energy. I'm like, holy shit, that's not mine. That is definitely a collective energy. And the more awareness you bring around it, the more you will become aware. And so right now, I definitely, excuse me as well. So just in case no one I feel like I need to bring this to attention as well. So I've got a blocked hair duct. So this eye leaks. So if you see my tissue or you see me welling up, it's because of my blocked hair duct. But yeah, as I said, right now I'm feeling the urge to try and figure everything out. I know my role isn't to solve it all. I'm here to translate. It's like, yeah, I'm here to translate the unspoken truth I feel in the collective field. Everyone's talking about scaling, especially when we come into social media and the online presence. Everyone is talking about scaling, about strategy, about more, 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 more. But where is the talk about the energetic integrity? I feel like that's the conversation I'm here to talk about. I've been caught up a lot with trying to teach. Again, I'm not here to teach. I'm here to just reflect. And this is a hard thing for me to adjust to, in the way of how do I articulate the things without it being teachy. And so it's more about coming into my experiences. And again, this is where my ego shows up, because it's like, stop talking about yourself. Even though the ego loves to be center of attention, a lot of the doubt that comes through is us like, yeah, but you're just speaking about yourself, da 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 da. But there is going to be stages where people resonate with that, and that's why I say, if it resonates, amazing. If it doesn't, leave it. I really am here, to name the frequency of the what the collective is swimming in, or at the moment sinking in. I'm here to offer perspectives rather than solutions. Again, this here is a big thing that I'm learning. It's probably one of the biggest lessons that I'm definitely still learning, is to offer perspectives rather than solutions, because I feel like I'm definitely a solutions person. I want to fix everything. I want to help people. Someone comes to me with a problem and I'm like, right, how the fuck can we make it better? How can I help you? But I have to learn that it is more of a perspective rather than solutions. Um, and the best way to learn it all is to embody it. And so this is what I'm doing by sitting here and creating a video and talking about the energies that I'm working through and how I'm embodying it, how I'm reflecting it. It's I guess like the biggest message I'll have, especially for reflectors, is when it comes to this online space and social media, the algorithm is not your strategy. Your aura is. So it's time to step out of the conditioning. So if you're sitting here and you're following the algorithm and you're trying to put in a strategy and you're trying to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to use all these trending and you put in this pressure and the fear and all this comes through, that is all your conditioning. When you come into a space and you're just like, oh, I just want to do this and I want to talk about this and I want to just add in this beautiful music, even though it's not trending, that is the non conditioning, that is the deconditioning that is coming through. So I'm starting to restructure how I show up. I'm starting to shift from the drive and the go, go, go more into the flow and the devotion instead of that force. I'm trying to ground ambition into truth. I'm letting inspiration move through me, getting out of the mind, stepping into the body, feeling into stuff. I want to post something. Okay, is this a mind thing? Is this mental? Is this, feel it in my body? Is this something that I really want to share and express? Is this going to be a perspective, or is this more of a solution base? Is this fear driven and ego, or is this actually something I'm noticing? Letting the mystery be my message is probably the biggest thing as well. I don't need to chase engagement. And this is one of the things that I've been so constricted. Like, as soon as I feel like I'm going to post something, I'm like, and I can just feel it constricting me, because it's like, how can I, la da 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 da, I need this to be, I need this to go viral. It's just like, why? Why does it need to go viral? Because it's going to please my ego. I don't need to please my ego anymore. My ego has enough. And I guess the biggest thing is just to collaborate with the energy. It's just about tapping in and talking freely, and it doesn't matter. It's just, how do I, as much as I know what I need to do, it's about embodying it. So it's not about just sitting here and journaling and journaling and journaling and reading and learning and absorbing. It's also about, how can I fucking embody this? How can I show up? How can I show up for the collective? How can I show up for myself? It's a lot. So I truly believe that if you are a lunar person, if you are a reflector, you need to learn to follow with the moon to find your purpose. And that's probably one of my taglines is, flow with the moon, find your purpose. I am going to do a lot more of these. I've got a YouTube channel where I'm going to have more of the bigger talks. So the full, what's it called? The full video is going to be on YouTube, and then I'm going to have little snippets that I'll put on, out onto my Instagram page. So again, if this resonates, amazing. I'm hoping that I can find my people, and I can find my more reflectors, and help you guys wake up, because the hardest people to wake up are reflectors. And I know why, because there's just so much conditioning. There's just so much hard work that we've got to get through. There's so many layers that we've got to get through. But I feel like the biggest thing is just to slow down. Don't compare yourself. We're not like anyone else. We don't live by the sun. We live by the moon. And look how slow and gracious she is. You know what I mean? Look at the phases she goes through. Look at the ebbs and the flows and just the beauty. And like, I'm just getting chills. You know, it's like the moon is everything for me. It's everything for lunar beings, for reflectors. And just trust in her. You know, if you ever get stuck, confused, just sit in silence. Just think about how the moon flows, you know. So I hope that this has brought you little golden nuggets. I would love to know if you have resonated with anything. If you don't feel comfortable commenting, then please DM me. If you're watching this on YouTube, jump to my Instagram page and DM me there. But I'm really liking this direction it's going. Again, we'll see how long this lasts. But yeah. Also, if you want something to help track, I am in the midst of creating a more like a lunar being reflector moon calendar and journal to help us stay in tune with the moon a lot more. But I have released my astro calendar. This is over 50% off because obviously we are halfway through the astro season. The thing that I love about this calendar is that it is actually in alignment with the zodiac season. So it starts in Aries season. So Aries is, if we look at the Gregorian calendar, it starts on the 21st of March. So with my calendar, it starts on the 1st of Aries, which reflects the 21st of March. So I have my Scorpio season calendar here. So you can see it has a breakdown. Where am I going? It has a breakdown of the zodiac we are in, and then when we look at the days, so you can see here it reflects the date that we are for the normal calendar, and then it has the numbers. You'll see here it also provides the zodiac that the moon is transiting. We have a little box here which is for all your personal tracking. So for me, I'm using it for my inner cycle. So L is for luteal, and then you can see that it then goes through into P for period. I've also made notes of gates. So these are the gates that the moon is transiting. And then I go through and I've got all my activated channels. So I will be doing a little video on gates versus activated channels, and pretty much a gate. So I'll get into depth in a new video, but just to have a quick little overview, is a gate is kind of like what brings in the flavor of that day, and then your activated channel. So when a gate creates a channel, is where you can actually start taking action and embody that. So that is where a channel, an activated channel, creates an anchor point for us as reflectors. So anyway, if you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you are on Instagram, make sure that you're following. And like I said, DM me if you have any questions, but I would also love to see the comments below. So other than that, remember, follow the moon, find your purpose. This is Reflector Carrie. I also have the Reflect Her Moon, which is all my journals and calendars. And I'm just sending you so much love, and I hope you have a magical day.